The following are some of the characteristics of some of the successful superstars. Choose a category or two, I'll go through this quickly, where you want to work on and you want to develop yourself in just a little way over this week and next week in a constant and never-ending improvement, just slightly. Now, these characteristics are characteristics of some of the people that are some of the highest earners, nicest people that you will ever meet, very, very approachable. Then what I'd like you to do is approach these superstars and ask them how they worked on what they did and the process they used. So here's some of the characteristics. Write these down. If they apply to you, make a note of it. And at the retreat, talk to 40 people a day, asking questions that are pertinent to you and what's going on in your life. How do you get up in the morning and do what you do? How do you get up in the morning and work on days that you don't feel like working? What transformed your discipline? So I wrote down here, and this is not in any particular order, characteristics of a superstar. They are better trained than the rest of the agents in the marketplace. Write that down. That is a characteristic of a superstar. They are better trained than their counterparts in the marketplace. The second thought is they focus on their goals. And the subsection underneath that is their goals are written down and they read them all the time. The goals inspire them, they excite them, they're enthusiastic about them. I wrote down, the next thought is they have a high desire to achieve. A high desire to achieve. And the next one I wrote down here, they have discipline. They have discipline. How do you get it? Where does it come from? Ask these people. Ask the Neil Weichels of the world or the Karen Bernardis of the world. Where did your discipline come from? These are people making in excess of $2 million a year every single year, even in the bad markets. How do they do that? How do they do that? That's crazy. And they do it. You're in, you're out. You're in, you're out. How do you develop that discipline? They have a strong commitment to learning how to handle objections. The objections have been the same since the beginning of time. 40 years ago, the first week I got my real estate license, I went out and door knocked in Northwest Whittier. I've told this story 1,000 times. It was a for sale by owner. It was on the corner. I know the house, I know the situation, I know the lady. She was even moving from Northwest Whittier to Irvine, coincidentally. I only took 40 years to get to Irvine. She did it 40 years ago. She was a for sale by owner. Anybody want to guess what her first and biggest objection was? She didn't want to pay the commission. She didn't. 40 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, as I remember it as I'm talking to you right now, it was that live in her living room going through what I thought was a presentation then, only to learn later on that what I was doing was just nothing. And she hit that question, that objection. I didn't know how to handle it. I was brand new in the business. I hadn't even met Mike Ferry yet. I think I met him probably within a month or two later of that. I still fumbled over it. I still was persistent. I still went back. I did what needed to be done. And I got that listing. And that listing sold. 40 years ago. Objections don't change. Get my point? Learn them. I wrote down here, they have one of their characteristics is they have the willingness to get out of their comfort zone. They have the willingness to get out of their comfort zone. We are where we are because it's okay with us. Because if it wasn't, you would say, that's it, I'm not taking this anymore, I'm moving out. I'm moving out. I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y. You are where you are because it's okay with you. When is that going to change? When will you change? When will you make that choice? I wrote down here, they practice consistently. They maximize the use of their time. And when they are at work, they work. And when they are at home, they're at home. How do they do that? That's the questions that you need to find out, to ask yourselves. I'll email this to everybody because there's more characteristics on there. Those might hit you. You need to be talking to 40 of these people every day at the Superstar Retreat. Think about this. If you do that for the 4 days, you'll have talked to 160 people, high-producing superstars at this retreat. Is it possible that one of them might have an idea or a suggestion for you that might help change your life, your business life, or other parts of it? That by this time next year, you could be one of those superstars that other agents are approaching and talking to. Is that possible?
Yes.
You bet it is.